President Donald Trump arrives in Georgia ahead of two high-stakes runoffs which will determine control of the U.S. Senate. If Republicans win one or both, they will retain a slim majority and can block Joe Biden's legislative goals and judicial nominees. If Democrats prevail in both seats, it's an even split in the chamber, giving Biden's Vice President Kamala Harris a tie-breaking vote. Trump, however, was focused on other things.
You lose, you go, and you go wherever you're going, and you go and say, maybe I'll do it again sometime, or maybe I won't, or I'll get back to life. But when you win in a landslide, and they steal it, and it's rigged, it's not acceptable.
President-elect Joe Biden also took to the stage in Atlanta to thank voters for making him the first Democratic presidential candidate to win Georgia in 3 decades.
Hello.
He also urged his supporters to show up one more time for the Senate runoffs to help ensure his legislative agenda.
The power is literally in your hands. Unlike any time in my career, one state can chart the course, not just for the next 4 years, but for the next generation.
Once again, different visions of the nation will collide, with the Republican candidates embracing Trump's Make America Great Again agenda and Democrats focused on liberal policies. The runoffs were needed because none of the candidates secured a majority in November's vote. Opinion polls suggest both races could go either way. Hermione G, Euronews.
Our reporter Colin Campbell is standing by in Washington, D.C. for the very latest. Good morning to you, Colin. There's a lot on the line in Georgia today. What are the latest polls saying? And how much of an effect could these revelations about Donald Trump's phone call with Georgia election officials sway the final vote?
Good morning, Oliver. Well, when you're looking at the polls, it really could go either way. Right now, some of the polling and some of the surveying, it suggests that this is still going to be a very close race. And that's why you saw both the president and the president-elect in Georgia just within the past 24 hours trying to get voters to be energized to get to the polls if they haven't voted already. But we're looking at such a large proportion of voters who have already participated in this election so far. And the recent revelations coming out about the president basically forcing or trying to force the Secretary of State's hand in trying to find 11,780 votes, of course, is a big shock. But it isn't expected to change the minds of those who are already in the tank for the Trump administration, for Republicans in general, or the two candidates that are up for election. However, what it could do is really motivate others who are outraged by the recent revelations to send in their ballots or at least get to the polls in time before the polls close so that their vote can be registered.
Especially those who haven't already cast their ballots in early voting. Now, another thing to keep our eye on Wednesday is going to be the fact that we've got some Republicans threatening to derail the process of confirming the results of the election. What can we expect, and what are they hoping to achieve?
Well, we can expect that the votes will most likely be certified. Of course, yes, it is concerning that there are about 100 Republicans in the House and about 14 senators that say they will not certify the results, but the process will go through as expected. However, yes, there are a lot of eyes on what's going to happen this week, especially since we saw this kind of just really just vapid talk initially coming from the White House and then going to the Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, who said that he would not certify the results. And then the senators started to pile on a little bit. However, that number of dissenters is not expected to change the outcome. And when you have so many voters that are looking at what's happening in Washington right now, I don't think that the other lawmakers will really try to reverse the will of the people so as not to raise the ire that is already existing in America right now.